Illinois beats Maryland 85-80 in this one. Terrence Shannon Jr. had a really, really good game, scoring 27 points, but the defense obviously was lacking a little bit for Illinois in this one. I know that's been a bit of a conversation point for the Illinois fans recently is, hey, our defense hasn't been quite what it was earlier this season. I still think that they have a lot of opportunity on defense with how much they can switch and how they're able to utilize their players. Coleman Hawkins is very, very good, but there are aspects to his game that he can be a little bit exposed on defense from time to time. We talked about that in the award episode and why I disagreed a little bit with Sonny, and he made some good counterpoints. But at the end of the day, Kent, Illinois, was this one too close? Was this a good win, bad win? I mean, it was at Maryland, so we have to give him credit there. But what were your thoughts?
I don't think it was too close. I mean, like you just said, it's tough to win anywhere on the road in this conference. So, like, a win on the road is a win on the road. You want to get in, get that win, and get right out of there, and then put the other team's shirt on and flip off the camera as you're taking off, too, if you really want to rub it in. But no, I don't think it was too close. I think it was a good effort from Maryland, despite the fact that there was like 7 people at this game, a weekend game. Like, what is going on? I get disappointed when there's a team. Now, I know Maryland's on a downslide right now, and they're not playing the best basketball ever. But if I'm living anywhere within 50 miles of Jameer Young playing basketball live for the cost of what a ticket probably would be to get into a Maryland game, I'm going. And I'm going to watch him play every single time. And if I'm a Maryland fan, especially, I'm going. There was nobody at this game, and I thought that was disappointing for Maryland and their fans, to be honest. I still love Jameer Young. I want to go watch him play every game. I still believe in Julian Reese as well. So it's tough that they didn't have that support that they needed. But, you know, if you're an Illinois fan, you go on the road, you get this win, you get right out of there. You get mad at the other coach for grabbing the ball before it goes out of bounds a couple times, post some pictures on Twitter. You have some fun with some people online, and then you listen to the other coach complain about everything under the sun after the game as well. I'm just not, man, I just have to say this one more time. I'm already on record as saying this. I'm just not a Kevin Willard fan, man. Just not. I do not like him. He just seems like, I don't know. I'm gonna keep the rest of my thoughts to myself about Kevin Willard and let you guys finish the conversation about this game. But good win for Illinois, though, nonetheless. No matter what the score was or what the winning margin was at the end of the game.
I'm gonna echo your thoughts on Kevin Willard there, Kent. I see why there were no fans in the stands. I mean, could you go and see Jameer Young? Yeah, but you also have to watch Kevin Willard coach. There's a trade-off there. This team, Maryland, they were down by 4 points with about 40 seconds left. All they had to do was foul Illinois, and they can maybe get the ball back down 2 possessions with only down 4 or 5 points. What they do? Kevin Willard says, "Oh no, don't foul. Just take your out." Crazy to me. Like, what is he thinking?
I've not said this earlier in the season because I didn't want to sound mean, and I knew that like Maryland fans were really excited about Kevin Willard after, you know, last season, taking him to the tournament and stuff like that, which was great for Kevin Willard to do. But like, what did he really do at Seton Hall to make us believe that he would do anything spectacular at Maryland? Right? Like, I just looked up his records again just to make sure. I was like, is there something I'm missing? The guy's had 2 single-digit win seasons his entire time coaching in what? What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. Over 10 plus years of coaching. He's had 2 single-digit loss seasons the entire time. And in his years at Seton Hall, like he was never really all that spectacular. Like, he went to the tournament, but like didn't do all that much else. He was conference tournament champions in 16 with Seton Hall. So like, that's good. But like at the end of the day, I never really got the allure of Kevin Willard coming in to be this great piece for Maryland. And Phillip is exactly right. Like, how was Willard not given a technical when he caught the ball? Like, number one, he caught the ball inbounds. Number two, he's outside the coach's box. Like, what in the world is going on there that they're not going to give him a technical foul? They're not going to like I know Illinois, players sometimes like get a bad rap because they go crazy about the refs, but I'd be going crazy about the refs there too. Like, it's completely ridiculous that there was no technical foul. There was nothing. Like, they're just like, oh, out of bounds. Like, oh, the coach was basically out of bounds. So like, how many times do we see guys flying out of bounds to save a ball and throw it back in? Like, I just, it's just
I'm just glad that play didn't end up like being the factor of why they won or lost. Like I'm glad they still won the game, and I'm glad they won by 5 still, and that wasn't the reason for the win or the loss. But yeah, also, by the way, Terrence Shannon Jr., super fast guy and very athletic, and everyone like that was trying to defend, like Kevin Willard was like, oh, it was an overthrown pass and there was no chance he was going to catch it. Have you seen this man play basketball before? There's definitely a chance he was going to save that ball. So not to go crazy about that, because what we should really be going crazy about is what Brant said. He should have got a technical foul for not fouling at the end of the game. The ref should have came over and said, this is unexcusable that you're giving up on your team right now. Technical foul on you. You need to go to the locker room and let somebody else coach the rest of this game, because that is inexcusable with that amount of time left, that big of a margin of the difference in the margin of victory, whatever you want to call it. They were only down by 4. And him not trying to extend the game there is absolutely unexcusable. Inexcusable, unexcusable, whatever the proper English word for that is. His players should have been freaking out on him at the end of that game about him not trying to extend it.
Philip also said Seton Hall sending Maryland a thank you card for taking Willard to give them Shaheen Holloway. That's a really good point.
That's a good coach, by the way. They had that game on tonight. And they were doing the like inside the huddle with him, and like he gets his players fired up, man. I like him. I like Holloway. He's a good coach.
Was he the St. Peter's guy?
Yeah, he's from St. Peter's.
Yeah. And then Philip also saying, I thought this earlier, but I didn't want to say it, so I'm glad you said it, Philip. I wish Shannon would have run Willard over to get the ball. I wish, as long as nobody got hurt, I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine if Terrence Shannon Jr. got hurt during that? Like, oh, that would be so awful. I think
if Kevin Willard got hurt, that'd have been okay though.
Well,
I said if Willard got hurt, we would have been okay with that.
Yeah, he can still coach, right?
Yeah, not like badly. I don't want him to get hurt badly, but like if he twisted his ankle or something and he had to be on crutches for the remainder of the season, that would have been pretty funny to watch.
Right. Okay, so last question. So this popped into my head, and I know this is a basketball show, but we're kind of related to football here for a minute. So everybody remember what Mario Cristobal did at Miami when they didn't kneel the ball down? Okay, worst coaching move, what Mario Cristobal did, which, like, by the way, Georgia Tech still had to go, 60 yards to win that game in 20 seconds, but I mean, they did it. Worst coaching move, Mario Cristobal not kneeling with 20 seconds left and his guy fumbles the ball, or Kevin Willard here not fouling with 40 seconds left, down by 4. Which is the worst coaching move? Brant, what do you think?
I'm going to go Mario Cristobal. I mean, that is the worst of all coaching moves I've ever seen, and nothing's ever going to top that. You won the game, just need the ball, and then you didn't need the ball, and they lost the game. But I mean, this is also inexcusable. You could have extended the game, and you just chose not to. I think the same kind of thing happened in the Tampa Bay Detroit NFL playoff game, where Tampa could have called a timeout and potentially gotten the ball back with a few seconds left, and they just kind of let it run too. I don't know. It's just kind of accepting defeat when you don't have to yet. I'm not sure why that happened.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. What do you think, Kit?
I think they're equal. I do think that Cristobal's is a little bit obviously that one affected the outcome of the game for sure. And this one, it's hard to say that they're equal because we don't know what would have happened had they extended the game. And we know what for sure happened with Georgia Tech and Miami. So I still think that they're equal, though. It's like Brant said, like I said, it's inexcusable. You cannot at least try until there's zeros on the clock, man. You just got to. You have to. And just to mail it in like that for the last 40 seconds of the game is just I have no respect for that whatsoever. You just have to. You have to try. You have to try until the end.
Yeah, fireable offense. I mean, fireable offense. He's lucky he made the tournament last year, because I don't know if he'd be hanging on at the end of this year. I think he probably will hang on at the end of this year, but still, yeah. Thanks for listening to the Big Ten Huddle. Please do like and subscribe. We appreciate that. If this was your first time listening, we are the Big Ten Huddle. We cover all things Big Ten football and basketball. We have a long episode every Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night, all at 9 o'clock. So come in, check us out, get in the chat, let us know what you're thinking. We would love to have you join us and learn more about the Big Ten.